I am going to try a couple things here. A little darker. That's a nice purple. It's not what I wanted. Um, a little darker just for this last, well, this one layer here, way down on the right. And then, if my water is clean enough, I might come back and try that sky again, even without using masking fluid. Let's see. This shape. I can't quite see my line, pencil line, which I hope doesn't come back to haunt me. But I do that a lot, just so you know. Of hopefully you've seen me do that in one of the studies of doing a shape and really kind of thinking that didn't quite. It's not even at all. And while it's still somewhat wet, squeezing a whole dollop of a big drop of paint into it. Oops. Having some light changing issues. I'm going to ask you to deal with that. Never mind all those weird shadows. Hi. Yeah, so I'm going to do that. And this is another time where it would probably behoove you to let that dry. But I am gonna, well, it'll dry a little bit while I make space here. I'm going to come back in with just that Quinn Rose back into the sky. I think what I'm going to do again is, what are you going to do, James? I'm going to make some really watery Quinn Rose. Kind of want to build up this sky a little bit quicker, and it is going to force me to paint around that sun, yes. And that's going to bring a couple issues. I want to make sure I have plenty of paint mixed up. Once again, I'm turning it upside down. And I'm thinking about this shape, if that's still on camera. It'll actually sort of help that out, because I'll explain why later. So with the Quinn Rose, I'm going to come in and paint around the sun, like I was saying, and I'll probably come back and do the refine it. Stop talking and paint, Farron. The things going on really are sort of not wanting that. Oh man, you can see it's sort of. I don't know if you can see. It did make a slight stain while I was fussing with other things. So that, once again, hopefully is the downside, like right there, yeah, is the downside of trying to paint around things while big washes that you've started are sort of drying. So sometimes it does help to kind of keep doing a little bit of back and forth. Dealing with the that edge, dealing with, as long as it's still wet, it's okay to come back here and deal with you to refine that edge a little bit more. And then back to the back to this guy. This guy. That reminds me of Jimi Hendrix. This guy versus the sky. That's pretty random, Farron, but I am going to have some fun and forget about that Jimi Hendrix thing. But I'm going to squeeze in a little bit of that. I'm also going to bring in a little bit of the azo yellow. Mix that in a little bit and kind of see what happens when I bring in a touch of that too, mixed in with the Quinn Rose, and start getting some oranges and some pinks and some stuff like that. I'm moving this around a lot, and it really is one of those times when I could easily regret not letting that one dry first. But thankfully it's going to be okay, and I'm familiar enough with all this stuff to know that even if something did happen that wasn't what I was planning, that I will be able to figure out a way to cope with it. And a lot of times it takes sleeping on it, not literally putting it, under your mattress, but letting your brain sort of try to solve it without figure out a problem. There are a lot of times when I'll sort of wake up in the morning or in the middle of the night and go, oh, maybe that's what I could do with that little part. I'm coming back in here only because it's wet enough to not, and a small enough brush to not create weird things. Typically, though, make sure that you look at the shape sideways and can tell just how shiny it is, which will tell you how wet it is. Coming along. I am going to turn it off and dry that with a hairdryer and then maybe do some more.